What's up, you guys? Slim here with a new video today, and I'm here to bring you guys the second to last episode of Choose Your Destruction. Like I said in my previous video that I did on Boojins, I said that I'd be trying to wrap up this little mini series here and that I would do a couple more decks. And I got a couple requests, and the requests I got were pretty accurate. I feel that Geargia and possibly Hieratic Rulers will be the last decks I do. I might actually throw in Fire Kings as like a bonus one. A lot of people are requesting Fire Kings. The deck is real. That's one thing. The deck is very real. So I think a lot of people want to know like some of the best outs of that deck. I'm very unfamiliar with that deck, so I really got to look at it. But I'm talking about more in the trends we see. Everyone is playing Fire Fist, Mermails, Boojins, Geargia. They're playing some versions of Hieratic Rulers, some version of Dragons or something like that. But I'm gonna do today's episode on Geargia and wrap up probably then tomorrow with Hieratic Rulers, and then move on like with some new videos as the new format will establish itself and more decks will change how they're played, and new decks will come out. I might have to throw Harpies in there too. I think I might just have to do like one final like crazy concoction of like 3 decks at once. So if that's what you guys want to see, let me know in the comments below. If you want me to throw in a couple decks together, I can, because a lot of cards that are sided for one deck are always sided for another. So that's the beauty of this game when it comes to side decking. But I'm here to do and talk about Geargia. So Geargia deck's crazy. It's one of my favorite decks, this format. It's the deck if I was playing in any events, I'd probably play Geargia. Uh, Deck is insane. Flip armor, flip gear, you pretty much win. It's ridiculous. Like, resolving armor is pretty much enough to win. Resolving gear at the end phase and then flipping armor and then trap stunning them is just like the end. Like, it's literally the end. You just end with like the most crazy field, and it's just like such an explosive deck. Now, the deck, as good as it is, I've noticed Geargia has one huge flaw, and it's something that Pat Hope and a lot of other players have talked about, is that as good as Geargia is, when you go second with the deck, you're going fourth because you do not make an aggressive play turn one. You usually set armor, set some back row, pass. Well, if you're going second, before you can even do anything, you have to do that same setup play. So technically, you really don't start your plays until turn 4, so therefore the deck is not as explosive in the earlier stages. It requires setup, as pretty much every deck does, but it's a deck that has to have a passive play of setting its main monster versus summoning it, so that's one of the flaws the deck has. But anyways, I'm just going to get into these cards. So I'm going to start with Cyber Dragon. The most basic, old school card to answer any machine-based deck because of this card right here. Chimera Tag just wipes the whole deck. Their board is basically all machines, and you just summon a Cyber Dragon, contact, and their entire field goes bye-bye. Doesn't matter if they have the Karakuris, it doesn't matter if it has the Geargia X's, you just wipe their whole board with Chimera Tag. So the card's amazing. Effect Veiler. Now, Effect Veiler can hit several things in this deck. The deck has a lot of nifty effects, Geargia Armor being the main one. Veiling Armor is it hurts the Geargia player a lot because not only can they not search, they can't flip it back face down, so armor gets really halted there, and it only has 1100 attack. It's very easy to run that card over. You can blader them, and then they can't even go into like any of their synchro plays. I've seen that happen a lot. People just run Geargia Armor over for free, basically. So Veiler's really good. Veiler can stop a lot of their comboing too, because you can stop the Karakuri tuners coming out from Beret and Barretos, so Veiler's just really versatile. Veiler is just like a staple in your main deck or side deck. Maxi is more of a deterrent. A lot of Geargia players will stop when you Maxi them. A lot of people wonder where the best place to Maxi is. It depends. Oh, one more thing about Veiler before I continue with Maxi. Another good thing is Veiler the Arsenal upon summon, because Arsenal is usually how they'll start to go off if they don't draw to armor. It's another way to get to armor. So Veiling the Arsenal is really good. You can Veiler the MK2. You can Veiler a lot of things when they start to do their combos. So Veiler's just really good. But on to Maxi. Maxi is a deterrent, hopefully. I have seen some players play through it and still win. Sometimes you play through it and you establish such a big board, but the problem is that they're going to draw a lot of cards, and if you, for some reason, cannot put the game away at that point, you're probably going to lose because there's so much advantage. But Maxi is just good, and like I was saying, where to drop Maxi. I've noticed a lot of people will drop Maxi when the first Accelerator is special summoned, because then if they have an armor on board and they special summon Accelerator, they're not just going to leave the accelerator there. There'd be no point. So you know in your mind they're going to probably XYZ into Gear X or something. So having drop Max C, you can at least pretty much guarantee you're going to draw one card. If not, you're going to just knock over the accelerator and get rid of the armor. So Max C is good. It's a good deterrent, and it's just a good card to stop them from like going crazy combo on you. Nobleman Across Out. This card doesn't see as much side deck play as a lot of people thought it would. People were not really aiming for armor like they were when Geargia was like one of the main played decks. Nobleman was really good. Granted, Geargia armor is not a flip type monster. Like it doesn't have the ability that it's not a flip effect monster in a sense. Like Nobleman would hit it. It would like if Nobleman hit, say, Maneater Bug or Magician of Fate, like back in the day, like you'd remove all the copies. You don't do that with Geargia armor, but it is a good way to get rid of it and remove it. Removing is huge. Banishing any monster is huge. This format because it's better. It's better than Shield Crush because you can Shield Crush a Geargia armor, but then they can just use MK2 and bring it back. So Nobleman's pretty good. I don't know if people side it, but it's a good option. Probably the best option outside of Cyber Dragon, definitely System Down. This card is just the end for all machine-based decks. You only pay 1,000, and all face-up machine-type monsters in the graveyard are banished. And I mean, that's it. The end. MK2, I mean, can summon from hand, but I mean, most of the time you're trying to bring back Georgiano and Georgiano into the Watchdog to make a 7, or to just do some other crazy plays with Accelerator. So System Down is like the be-all end-all for that deck. Just really solid card against machine decks in general. Not only that, but also against gadgets. So same thing with Cyber Dragon. You just these two are just like the way to just like destroy machine decks in general. DNA Surgery. I've talked about DNA Surgery when it came to Boojins, calling anything but Beast Warrior. With Geargia, it's even worse. You just call anything but machines. Call fish. Call fairy. Call water. Call psychic. Call whatever. DNA Surgery just puts the deck at a real disadvantage because they can still make their rank 4s, their generic ones, but they can't go into any of the Karkuris. They can't do anything like crazy. So DNA Surgery is a good card. I've seen people side this against Geargia. It's a really interesting way to pretty much like kind of halt them. Like kind of like Maxi is a deterrent. DNA Surgery is a huge deterrent because it makes it so that you really can't do anything. So DNA Surgery taking away them from being machines is really important. And the last card, I've talked about Mind Crush pretty much every video. I've done Fire Fizz, I've done Mermail, I've done Boojins, and I'm going to throw it in here with Geargia too. Every deck searches, armor searches, you can Mind Crush away accelerators, you can get knowledge of their hand and Mind Crush away MK2s. You can just get so much knowledge against pretty much any deck that searches. The deck searches off of Geargia armor a lot, and you can kind of just tell by the plays they're going to do. When they search Birdman, Mind Crush Birdman, get Birdman out of there. Birdman is at 1, and that card is like the whole, like, the nutso part of the combo because summoning it and bouncing an accelerator, re-special summoning the accelerator, you Mind Crush away the Birdman or the accelerators in the early stages, and the Geargia player is really limited on what they can do outside of a basic rank 4. They search off Gear Giant X. Mind Crush is just really good. I think Mind Crush is one of the best side deck cards for the rest of this format. That's just something I firmly believe. A lot of players have said so, and I agree with them. Having knowledge of your opponent's hand at any point in the game is huge. It's a great momentum shifter, and being able to knock out problem cards is just huge. So that's pretty much it on Geargia, you guys. I'm sure there's a lot more cards I didn't talk about that I could talk about. Don't say Shield Crush because I was going to put Shield Crush on here, and then I used common sense, and I thought, oh yeah, well they can just MK2 it back. So don't put Shield Crush. That's why I put Nobleman. Even if it doesn't see that much side deck play, it is a good option. Best cards though, hands down, are System Down and Cyber Dragon. They just clear the boards like flat out. I don't really know like what the future of Geargia is. I honestly don't think it's gonna get hit that hard. I think if they're gonna hit anything in it, they might hit Geargia Gear because that card is a little too unfair to be honest. I've had games where I've resolved 2 of them, one at the end phase and one at the start of my turn, and I mean you get all 4 of the MK2s out, and I mean you got like 2 free rank 4s, one of them being Gear Giant X, and you do all these crazy combos before you even normal summon. I mean it's pretty ridiculous, and that's why I think Geargia is easily one of the best decks this format. Even though it does have the one thing going against it that when you go second you do go fourth. When you go first, in reality you're going second. I know it's a crazy concept, but just think about it. Your turn 1 play is always passive, so That's pretty much what I mean by that statement. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. In the comments below, share your thoughts on Geargia, what cards you side against them. Mistakes, another card people will mention. There's just anything to stop them from going off is huge. But Vanity's Emptiness is huge. Like, a lot of people just use a bunch of crazy stuff to stop them. So it's interesting to see what you guys talk about. I'm sure someone's gonna say Summon Limit. Someone had even mentioned Summon Limit to me before I made this video. I just didn't want to include it because I'm not 100% sure if people actually side that card. But interesting. Zombie World is another amazing card. I almost feel I should dedicate a whole video to that card because that card is literally, oh, it's so underrated how amazing that card is. It shuts down a lot of things. So, anyways, in the comments below, just leave your thoughts and cards you would side against Geargia and other machine decks in general. And let me know what the last couple decks I should do are. I'm going to maybe do them all at once in one big video. I think Harpies, Hieratic Ruler, and Fire Kings have been the most requested. If you want me to throw in Infernities and other decks in there, I will, and just try to cover everything. It'll be a longer video, but it'll cover pretty much everything. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs it up, share your thoughts below, and thank you for watching.